Artists have been at loggerheads with the National Arts Council. They are not happy with the handling of the presidential employment stimulus program. Over the past weeks, they have been holding a series of sit-ins at the National Arts Council offices. The council recently apologized. It promised to start paying qualifying beneficiaries from the end of this month. Now, for more on this, Dr. Sipho Sithole, council member and head of communications at the National Arts Council, joins me now. A very good afternoon to you, Doctor, and thank you so much for your time. So, why and how has it come to this point that there's not been payments? Why has there been a mishandling, at least according to artists, of the stimulus package?
Thank you very much, Morena, for inviting us to also share our frustration with regard to how this presidential employment stimulus package has been handled by the National Arts Council. So the artists and ourselves as the new council that was appointed in January, we are totally aligned, and we have said the same thing to them, and we've had numerous meetings virtually with the artists community across the cultural and creative sector to say that we inherited a dilemma, if I were to say. This PESP program was announced last year, was supposed to have been completed last year. It was completed last year by the 30th of December. All applicants had been adjudicated and approved by the previous council, of course assisted by an independent panelists that had been appointed to receive the applications and to also then judge them whether they were successful or not. What did we inherit? We inherit a situation whereby the PSP program itself had been oversubscribed. The council had approved more than the money they had in the budget. Let me say the NAC had approved more than the money they had in the budget. This PSP was 300 million rands, and yet they went over to 611 million rands, approving all applicants that they had approved without checking if there was still enough money in the kitty. So as a result, when we got to the council, as the new council in January, we discovered that they had gone ahead and announced 613 successful beneficiaries and leaving out 761 also successful beneficiaries. So we had a moral dilemma at our hand in as far as how do you then exclude those that had been adjudicated and been approved, and how did you choose the 613 and then left out the 761? So that was what we got on starting to do, which was to fix it. And unfortunately, we had to take very tough decisions. Firstly, to halt the further distribution of the PSP until we had gotten into grasp as to what is the real problem. So we discovered what the problems were. We discovered, one, that some applicants had been granted more money than they had requested, in excess of 27 million rands. And secondly, we also discovered that some organizations were approved more than once. One organization getting two projects as different projects and being approved, knowing very well that there was not enough money. And the third problem was that they had applied a guiding figure that was far out of kilter with the market, where they followed what they say was the National Treasury guideline that said that for each and every job or work opportunity that is being created, they must give that job 25,000 rands. So that's exactly what happened. So we then had to make decisions. The first one that we made was that no successful applicant must receive more than what they had requested. Secondly, nobody should receive more than 2 million. If you had been granted 3.7, we sealed it at 2 million rands. As long as they are compliant and they are within the jobs that they had applied for. And the third one was for us to revise the guiding figure down to 10,895 instead of 25,000.
Doctor, so can I just come in the apologies? Will the money be paid at the end of the month? Is that what the council is saying, that there will be monies paid at the end of this month?
We are paying now every day. By yesterday, we had already paid about 5.8 beneficiaries, about 32 beneficiaries. In total, by yesterday, we had paid 239 beneficiaries. So we have paid about 37.7 million rands as of today. Our commitment is to make sure that as we pay every day, by the 31st of March, at least the first tranche, everyone has been paid. Our call to all the applicants, because we have reissued new grant notification letters 1,130 of them, is for people to return those grant notification letters so that we can then do the contracts. And we are happy to say that they are coming back fast and furious. We have already received almost 700 grant notification letters, which means we are now contracting. That's why the payment is now coming through.
But
we're going to continue to pay.
There's an understanding from the council for these sit-ins to continue, if so they do, because obviously I would imagine artists are saying, until we all get the money that we've applied for, we will continue the sit-in, and that the council understands why this is being done.
We are very sensitive to the frustrations of this industry, of the artists, because remember, they are the hardest hit. They are freelance work in the main. They don't have an 85 job. It's a gig economy. They rely on bookings. So this relief came at the most crucial time, at the most needed time for this artist. So when there is now frustration about the payment, we understand. But this is not the way to resolve it. We have had numerous engagements, and we would want to have the staff of the NAC back at the office to come and process it. But the staff don't want to come because they were locked in last time, so they don't want to come back to the office. Because when there was first a sitting, they were not allowed to go home. They couldn't even go and fetch their children. So we are appealing. The minister met with the team, the people who are sitting in, 3-hour meeting, and appealed to them to please allow the NAC to work and now at least leave the building as we continue to make the payments.
Okay, Doctor, thank you so much for allowing us to have this opportunity to address this matter. That is Dr. Sithole, of course, who is the comms manager at the National Arts Council.